All right. I thought it'd be a little easier if I just go ahead and go through it. I'll try to go kind of slow through it and step by step. And then if you have questions, you can always reach out to me and we can look at a specific part. That maybe you can slow this down, back it up, and kind of look at it from there. So I'm going to share my screen as soon as I figure out how to do it. Okay. So I'm going to log into Matrix, and I'm going to come into my dashboard that looks like this. I'm going to scroll down. And I want to go down here to transaction desk. That is where all of our documents are stored. That's where we can send things to be signed. Your dashboard is going to look a little bit different than mine. I've got active things that are going, so you may not have very many of them in here. But for right now, what you're wanting to do is to create a transaction right over here on the left-hand side. We're going to create, and they're wanting to improve this or switch it over to a new version. I'm still old school, so for right now, I'm going to stay in legacy transactions. That's what I'm used to. And then this is where I start creating my transaction. So for right now, I'm going to say practice buyer's broker agreement. If I were representing somebody like John Smith, I may put John Smith BBA. This is just for me to know what the transaction is. That way, when I go to pull it up later, I can find it there. Now, these templates, if I was going to go do a listing, I'd click this and it would put all the forms in there I would need. Or if I was going to go do a sale, I'd click this one. It would put all the forms in there I'd need. But right now, I'm not doing any of those. So we're going to leave all four of these blank and we're just going to create because we just need one document to represent the buyer at the moment. So it's going to take us into this is what they call the wizard. It's up here in the left hand corner. Um, I've never used this, but if you were to go through and if you filled out what the street was and the names and all that, it auto fills everything into your transactions or your forms that you're going to use. But for now, I'm skipping this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the right hand side and I'm looking for forms. So right now, since I created a blank transaction, there are no forms. There's nothing here. I'm going to go to this plus sign. And when I hover over it, it says add forms. Now, at our disposal, we have all of our MLS forms. So the ones prepared by the Central Illinois Board of Realtors, and those are in the top two folders. We also have all of the Illinois Realtor forms, which are formed by Illinois Realtor Association. We also have Land Institute. So if you were selling a farm ground, you're probably looking in here to find some sort of land contract. I'm not going to use that one very often. The easiest way I've found to find the form that you're looking at, um, again, how do you find these? It's just come with me searching them over time for the ones that I know that I need. And for what we're doing, I usually use a non-exclusive. And when I stop, if I type in a little bit of the word, it's going to pop up. So it's going to give me some search suggestions. And I'm looking for non-exclusive buyer representation contract 339 with dual agency. So for right now, probably not going to matter a whole lot if you don't have any listings. But for me, I may show somebody a property and then they want to see one of my houses, and I have to disclose that I'm the listing agent and I'm also representing the buyer. Now, if you know in your situation that all of these are somebody else's listings, you could use the one that's down here. So for tomorrow, if you're showing a house and you're the only one that has it, you're only showing a house that somebody else has listed, you can click on this one. I'm going to check mark it. That's the one that I want. I'm going to click add. And now it's in where I can start working on it. So I'm going to click on it. And I've got a blank form to work with. So pretty much kind of like we've talked about Mad Libs before. What is the brokerage company that you work for? Stents Realty Team LLC. What is the buyer's name that you're going to show the property to? I'm going to make mine up for right now. Who is the agent that's going to show them the property? I'm going to put my name in here. You would be the buyer's designated agent. Duration of the contract. So how long is this contract going to be? Usually I just put it out for a month. If they tell you, hey, I don't want it to be for a month, I want it to be for a day, whatever date they want in there. But it's easiest if we just put it out for a month. So April 14th. Is it property specific? If you're showing them one property, you may just put 123 Banana Street. And now this contract is only specific to that house. So if they buy that house, ideally they're going to use you to buy it. Don't usually put anything in here. What is this asking us? What are you going to do as an agent? You can tell them, I'm going to find you, show you properties. I'm going to help you write offers, that kind of thing. What is the company going to do? What is the buyer going to do? And then compensation. The way that this is written, you're going to put in here 3%. This is a lot of times where the item, or this is where the buyers kind of get hung up on. And you can kind of explain to them that in all of the situations that we've dealt with here lately, that the seller is still going to be asked to pay that percentage, just like in a traditional transaction. And then I would just go through and read these others so that you're comfortable with, in case they ask questions about what those mean. There's nothing to fill out there. There is a consent to contact. If they want to put their name in there and their email address, this would just give us the right to send them a newsletter or reach out to them if we had questions. They don't have to put that in there. And then you're going to put their name. And if they want to provide their address, they can. That's up to them. And that's it. So now when I meet with them, if I want to have them sign it when we meet, they're going to sign and date, and you're going to send it to me to sign and date after you've shown on the property. Now, a lot of times I like to send mine to people before I meet them, so we have it out of the way before we meet. So I'm going to save, just make sure it saves all my progress. I'm going to go back. Now it saves all my information that's in there. And now they say, well, just email it over to me and I will sign it before we meet. So I'm going to go over here. I was at forms. Now I'm going to go to signings. And I want to create a new signing. So name it something so you know what it is. It's going to take you in here. So this is transaction desk where we can send things for electronic signature. So I need to add, we're just going to go through these over here on the right step by step. So I need to add who is going to sign this. And I'm going to add it from the transaction. And John Smith is there. So I'm going to select him. That's the buyer that I'm sending this to. It's going to throw this little red flag. The reason it does that is because we've not put an email address in for John Smith. So I'm just going to put my email, personal email for now. Now we're good. Now I can send it to his email for him to sign. The next one, I'm going to go to Docs. I'm going to add a document. the first thing it's going to do is any forms that I've created, it's going to show up right here. So that's the one I've been working on. I'm going to add it. Now, when I scroll down, put John Smith's name in there where he needs to sign and where he needs to date. From there, honestly, you could hit next and send. But I want to show you one more thing. Just in case you get in a situation, if you scroll down here and his name is not there, the next button down is tools. This is all the options that we can have John Smith do on his end. So the one you're going to use the most, probably sign here. And then I just drag it to wherever I want him to sign. Or if I need him to initial something, I can drag that to where I need his initials, and then so on. Checkbox. If I just need to put his full name in there, it'll put his name in, a date. These are just things that you can play with, that you can drag and drop, and wherever you put that, that's where he's going to sign. From there, I'm pretty well done with this. I'm going to hit next. You're almost done. Do we want to finalize everything? And I'm going to send it. And it's out for signing. So if you want to keep track of it and make sure that he has got it or he wants to sign it, I can open it up. And where it says authenticated, that's going to show up with a little check mark if he opens the email. And then it'll show up with a check mark after he signs it. So I can see if he's opened it and reading the email. And then I can see once he's approved it, that he has signed it. Once he gets through the approved portion of it, it is going to send a copy of it to your email. That way you know that it's been signed. Or right now it says it's not completed. It'll say completed, and I can open it up from there and look at it and make sure that it's been signed. That's the basic steps of using Transaction Desk to create a buyer's broker agreement. I would tell you to take this video, work through several of them, send a few to yourself so you understand how it works from the agent side, but also look how it works through the buyer side as well. So if they have questions about what's coming to their email, you kind of have an idea of what it looks like when it gets there. So if you have questions after you've gone through this, played with it a little bit, don't hesitate to call me and reach out, and we can kind of take it from there.